With the increasing number of extreme weather events occurring around the world, governments are faced with difficult questions, such as how much damage can these events cause, and what are the most effective and economically smart measures to mitigate these events. To answer these questions and plan for their long-term development, governments need a comprehensive, structured assessment of these climate hazards and their impacts. Fortunately, the Economics of Climate Adaptation Framework, also known as ECA, developed by reinsurers and academia to address these questions. It is a unique method that supports governments in deciding which adaptation measures should be taken to manage risks. This is first done through analysing how climate risks could affect economies and societies presently and in the future. And secondly, through identifying and prioritising different cost-effective adaptation measures. ECA bridges a gap between traditional cost-benefit analysis, vulnerability assessments, and impact analysis, as it fully integrates all three of them. The ECA framework is made up of different steps. First, it starts with collecting the relevant data on current and past climate hazards and risks, such as flooding, the financial value of assets, and the economic and population growth rates of a city or country. This data is then put into different scenarios, which analyse how the hazard would affect the economy in, for instance, 10, 20, or 50 years, if there is a 2 degrees increase in global temperatures. In other words, the ECA framework shows how climate change, population and economic growth can put more people and assets at risk. The next step is to calculate how certain adaptation measures by the public or private sector would reduce the likelihood of possible losses and damages. The calculation also reveals the dependencies and interconnections between different adaptation measures. Examples of adaptation measures can be a seawall, reforestation, better building codes, integrated floodplains, or climate risk insurance mechanisms. In the final step, decision-makers are provided with estimates on the cost and benefits of certain climate adaptation measures, as well as information on how these adaptation measures could foster resilient economic growth in the future, allowing risk-informed decisions based on a smart mix approach. Figuring out the most effective and cost-efficient adaptation measures is an important part of an integrated climate risk management approach, and when applied with the other steps in the prevention, retention and transfer, preparedness, response and recovery phases, can make a society more resilient to climate change. With ECA, governments understand not only what the best adaptation measures are, but also how these adaptation measures will affect insurance prices. As overall vulnerability goes down, insurance prices decrease as well, bridging the gap between disaster risk management and insurance. More than 20 ECA studies have been conducted around the world by different organisations, focusing on different areas such as renewable energy in Barbados, small and medium-sized enterprises in Morocco, and urban resilience in China, just to name a few. Through this ECA approach, decision-makers can better understand their risks and possible adaptation measures, enabling them to make better informed decisions for the future.